Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of people, like my boy Mudahar over here, talking about how AI, especially slop, has ultimately destroyed the internet and how we'll never have it back the way it was. I come from the internet. Don't worry, ma'am. I've seen a lot of stuff. I've been around the block. I've been to protests that originated on the internet against cults. Once again, I've been around the block. And I want to weigh in on this theory that AI is destroying the internet. I watched things destroy the internet. This isn't the first thing to take a crack at it. There was a time when the internet was truly pure and the Wild West. Now, in about another 20 years, they're going to say that now is the Wild West. And yeah, it's pretty wild these days. It's really wild these days. But before social justice warriors got to it, it was even wilder. Before TikTok and Twitter got the normies on board, it was even wilder. Now, if you guys think that artificial intelligence was the death of the internet, no. No, the death of the internet was when normal people got onto it. When your grandmother got onto Facebook. When your sister got onto Instagram. When every mean girl in school got onto Twitter. Twitter, everybody's having fights over it. I was amazed when the news started quoting people on Twitter. You don't have enough characters on Twitter in order to have a reasonable conversation. You have enough to do what I call nuclear headshots. Now, I got to back up a little bit and put this together for you because the SJWs aren't going to like what I'm about to say. Clinical psychologists agree to some parts that it's a man thing to test the universe. It's a woman thing to test men. Now, why is that important here? Because women got on to the internet and started to test people with their cattiness, and then men got online. You might not think it now, but originally Twitter was a woman thing, generally a young woman thing, and people would give these nuclear headshots to one another the same way somebody's wife would. Women have the meanest things to say. Even Margaret Atwood said, the biggest thing that a man has to worry about from a woman is being laughed at. Nobody can laugh at someone the way a woman can. The worst that a woman has to worry about is being murdered. So even Margaret Atwood could say that we are two very different types of people. But the thing is, men don't run their mouths like women do. I have seen women kill other men and other women with words that they said, but the individual was still living. I've seen walking wounded and living dead. I think that we all have, if you want to get poetic enough about it. Life in the real world changed when the Me Too movement came around. The Me Too movement destroyed my family in a roundabout way once we got onto TikTok. Once again, TikTok isn't the same now as it was, but around the Me Too movement and around COVID, so many mental problems were being thrown around, and all of a sudden the word narcissist starts to come up. And these days, lawyers and mental health professionals are so goddamn sick of that term. Most people who call people the N word don't even know what level of psychoanalysts, therapists are legally allowed to give that definition. Man, I'm listening to the CBC and people just throw that around all the time. Oh, they were narcissist. My mom had narcissistic personality disorder. And when you listen to what they're talking about, this individual was never identified by someone who could identify it. It was that woman's opinion. And that happens so damn much. The internet's gonna keep changing. It's never gonna be back the way it was. I wish it was the way it was back when torrents were easier to get and people weren't so worried about mental health issues. Back in the day when I was fresh to the internet, or when I was back in the day with the good internet, we weaponized our autism. We weaponized it and had a great time and laughed at one another. We called each other faggot. Everyone was a faggot. A fag was just any individual. Sometimes a fag was interchangeable with the noun, a person, place, or a thing. Today we can't say that because it upsets everyone. That was 20 years ago. That was 20 years ago. And then we've moved into a time now where fourth wave feminists, third wave is equality, fourth wave is equality with vengeance against men. And believe all women all the time, support all women all the time. All white men are crappy Christian oppressive parts of the patriarchy and colonists. That came from the internet, and it destroyed many of us out here. You know what AI doesn't do? It doesn't destroy people's family. Not the same way that this activism has. Not the same way that Twitter and TikTok has. I was reading some news, and an advertisement was about find the best solutions or lifestyle for your ADHD. Now, I don't look for anything on ADHD. There is no reason why this would be attributed to me, my cookies, or my algorithms. This is one of those rapid fire things they're throwing out all over the place because everyone thinks they have ADHD. Now, 90% of the people who think they have ADHD got it from TikTok. And if you're on TikTok, I guarantee you have ADHD. TikTok pings your emotions faster than any modern entertainment. I can show you quickly what I'm talking about. Have you seen the new Superman movie? Do you notice how quickly the plot line moved compared to old media? There was less character development, there was less build up. Hell, at the title screen, Superman had already met his this new universe Superman had already met his biggest adversary. He was finished by it. They were finishing off a fight to it. And when you see Superman, he has failed. And usually by this point we just need to say spoilers. This isn't spoilers. This is moment one of the movie. You know, most of the time when they're talking about Superman, Spider-Man, Batman, they have to go through they were raised, they were orphaned, life is hard, and these are the lessons they learned and build up to be Superman. But these days, we have such short attention spans that we have to drop people right into the craziness of it. And there has to be excellent music. Excellent music. Back in the day, in the 80s, I was at a yard sale. I picked up a VHS for $5, and I was amazed to see that there was no audio. It's like there's voices. There was no music to it, and I found that extremely jarring. Extremely jarring. I didn't get how they could get away with that. But there was a time when that was okay, and you could get away with it. But these days, we need so much emotional pinging. We need so much things being right there, right in our face, that when we go back to the regular world and when we go back to work which has not changed, it is not upgraded, it has not kept with anything, it's very boring. The mundane, your drive to work, all of that stuff, we're all in such a bloody hurry these days, but still, it hasn't kept up the same way that social media has kept up with us, even your children. Man, I'm watching my kids watch Athmow or Assmouth, something like that. And man, it's just, if you take the 90s X-Men cartoon or He-Man Masters of the Universe cartoon and you jot down how long it takes to create the conflict, like create and underscore a conflict, and then get down to action, and then look at some of this new stuff, man, it just goes so fast that, of course, everyone's going to have ADHD. But what I'm trying to underline is that not we've created a situation where everyone thinks that everyone has ADHD, that there are corporations out there that are advertising to these people who think that they have ADHD. And when you go to get mental health for this stuff, there's a lot of these mental health people that'll just walk you through it. And if that's what you want, it's almost easier. In my opinion, it's easier to just give these people this speed, which is it's speed, it's drugs, it's speed to get through this ADHD than it is to see if they actually have it. I'm telling you right now, my ex doesn't have ADHD. She says she does. I believe she has problems. I think if anyone, I think maybe I have ADHD actual more than she does. I have a much lower attention span. But TikTok told her she had this, right? TikTok told her I'm a covert narcissist. TikTok told her all kinds of crazy things. I spent a lot of money to find out that I'm not. And she owed me an apology for that. Her, her lawyer and her therapist told her it was a good idea for her to apologize to me. So, guys, the internet's going to change a lot. This too will pass. This AI stuff. And there's probably going to be a time when everything on the internet's going to be generated with AI. Get used to it. Get used. That's how it's going to go. I had to get used to TikTok, fourth wave feminism, everyone acting like they had mental health problems, and these mental health problems are attributed. These mental health problems aren't anything anyone is guilty for. It's their mom who was a narcissist, or a dad who was a narcissist. This shit sucks, man. This shit sucks. But that's how it's going to go. It's going to keep changing. And then there's going to be something else. The kids are going to figure something else out. Not the TikTok kids. Their kids are going to figure something else out, and we'll be mad at that. But society changes. So does the internet. Get used to it. This AI is going to be another little flavor in the whole thing. Anyways, that's it for me, folks. Nev from Nev's Tech Bits. Take care of each other, will ya?